Okay, so let's start with the real basics. The basics are going to be about how you show up and how you rock up. And this is one of the fundamentals of being a success in this life. If you want to achieve, do not go out with your hand out hoping somebody else is going to validate you. That is the complete wrong way of going about anything. And I'm guessing that you want to be successful, that you want to make a success of this role and you want to create a great income for yourself, and you're going to want no limits to that, and you're going to want progression, and you're going to want people to look at you and really admire you and be inspired by you. Well, if those are the things that you want, then we're in the right place together. But you're going to have to look the part. You're going to have to look like you are a success. And that is something that we all have to do, which is fake it till you make it. Because if you look like a mess, and if you don't look in a decent way, and you don't look, at least it's not about a suit, it's not about, it's just looking good. It's looking stylish. It's looking in a way where people can get you. And to be fair, if you've got the personality that can overcome that and inspire people, you can look like a bag of shit for all I care. It doesn't matter. You can wear a bin liner. It doesn't matter, because you've got the ability to overcome that. Since I began my career, I always had the ability to overcome that. I could wear what I want. My hair was always long, down over my shoulders, but I was still making a lot of money. I was still making, maybe 15, 20,000 a month in my 20s. Because I had the ability and the confidence and the creativity in my mind to be able to get over, above, around everything. I was good at problem solving. And that's what I want you to be thinking about. I want you to start to become an excellent problem solver. Not thinking, I don't want a problem and I'm begging people to go to this damn event and all these sorts of things. I don't want you to be like that. I want you to stand up in front of the mirror and look at yourself and go, I am a bloody success. There is nothing going to stop me. I don't care what anybody's going to say. I don't care how negative they're going to be. I don't care how much rubbish they actually come out with. And believe you me, people come out with a lot of rubbish these days. Honestly, it's sad. The world has gone very much down over the last number of years because the cognitive function of people has gone down massively. It's not just the last 2 years of COVID. It's just before that for a long time because of something called toxic stress. It's destroyed the synapses in their brain. Their brains are not really working very well. And they don't actually say a lot of sense and they don't think a lot of sense. But it doesn't mean they can't have a lot of sense, because one of the benefits for these people is the neuroplasticity of the brain can change given function, intention, environment. And that's what you're trying to give them. You're trying to save lives. But you got to really look at yourself as that person that has the confidence to be able to do so and look the part. So the basics are you starting to say to yourself, I'm going to be a success and I'm going to do what's necessary to do it. And a little bit of a hint is if you put the time and the effort in and you work hard, and that means you just don't lie in bed all day, and you decide to, I'm going to get up, I'm going to face the difficulties, I'm going to write the letters, I'm going to write the introductions, I'm going to connect with people, I'm going to talk to people at every opportunity, I'm going to maybe pick up the phone, I'm going to do all the things necessary I can to communicate with people, and the more people you communicate with, the more success you will have. The less people you communicate with, if you wait for that one person to turn up in a week who is going to be your golden goose, then you're kind of cooking your goose. You've got to put the effort in at the beginning, because this will be an amazing resource for you, because every time you enter into a conversation, it will be a learning opportunity for you. That means you're going to learn about how insecure you might be, or how bad your conversation might be on your communication skills. And if you can realize that, then you're going to be able to change it. And you're going to be able to optimize your behavior so you get better and better results. If you were to become, any professional sportsman, do you think on the first day, you could win the Olympics? No, you'd have to put a lot of time and effort in it in the background, practicing your art. And in this position as a promoter, your art is to become a very good communicator, confident, creative, and incredibly focused in where you want to go. You should be not wanting to take any prisoners here. You should be wanting to really make sure that the people that you are talking to manage to get the message and you manage to save their lives. Because if we look at it seriously, these people will be coming out of work over the next few years because of automation. And a lot of people don't believe this because they just don't get it. They don't understand the speed, the exponential growth curve of how quickly AI is going and replacing jobs, especially within banking, insurance, jobs that could have were long-term jobs for people once upon a time. But now AI is coming and it will replace all of them. And all jobs in society are left brain process subservient, left brain convergent thinking, because that's how we've been educated. So lawyers will be coming out of work. Doctors will be coming out of work. Accountants will be coming out of work. Bankers are already coming out of work. And these people need an alternative career. Now, I know people here in Zurich, they were made out of work from the bank 2 years ago. Now they've got a pizza delivery driver's job, and really that's about the long and the short of it. And that's not a great change, not a great shift, but they all have skills that can be developed. And that really is your role. You're out there looking for those skills. And you've got to be someone who represents somebody that they would like to be like. So you've got to kind of imagineer who that would be. And that means that you've got to start looking like a professional recruiter, someone who's looking for talent and skill. And you're starting to identify yourself in that role. Now, when I was around about 23, I actually became a recruiter and I started running a recruitment agency. And I would interview people all the time looking for talent. Now, it wasn't everybody that was talented, but I was looking for potential. And potential means the person is open to talking to you. No point in talking to a person who is not open to you, to discussing things with you. And before you can discuss things with people, you've got to really, as I said, dress the part, look the part, talk the part, and start to identify in the part. Because this is a very professional role. You're like a headhunter. You're like someone who is looking for the right person for that event. Now, it doesn't matter as to whether that person is a young person. Youngest we've got on this program is 21, and we can go younger than that. The oldest person we've ever had on this program is 72. So forget age. It doesn't matter. And I don't want you to have any prejudice about who you think is good or bad. Really, people that you think sometimes are just not the right people will be the right people. You can find people that have that potential and the desire to become fitter, for example, because our program, the Mind Gym, is all about becoming physically fit, mentally fit as a first position, and then really ascending through the science of the unknown universe to really start to work the brain in the way it was designed to do, in flow state, hemispheric synchronization. All of our brains can do this, but some of us are so conditioned by society to not believe in ourselves. Well, unfortunately, you can spend a lot of time talking to those people, but you're just not going to get anywhere. That's why it's more of a selective role. And if you are good at selecting people, and we will be going through this a little bit deeper, you're going to find that this is a very, very powerful role for you, and you're going to make an awful lot of money from doing it. Because even in the trial period, we've given you a package that will allow you to make money each and every day. So you've got immediate returns for your effort, and also from the effort that's going on behind that in a bigger way. And also beyond that, if you want to have bigger conversations with people that might want to have a career retraining, and also within organizations that might want to retrain many of their people on something called innovation training, which will change the political structure within the organization towards being progressive and very much entrepreneurial, so those people can really have a major impact within that company. So, all the conversations that you have from this point can literally make you money. And after the trial period, then we're going to sit down with you and say to you, okay, let's see what you've done, see how you've got on, and let's put you in a package where you feel comfortable and you've got a little bit of security relating to that. But the major money coming in this is really where you're starting to really live and breathe this subject of mental acceleration. You're starting to understand the nuances behind it. You're starting to understand the power that this has to make difference in people's lives. And that is inspiring you, because if we're talking, bluntly here, you're actually selling people themselves. And there is nothing better to do than that, but a lot of people aren't buying themselves because they don't believe in themselves. So you're kind of feeding them the energy to feel that they are believing in themselves and that they've just got to take that step, just invest a couple of hours, and then we will take it over from there and we will work with them. Now, not everybody is going to buy into our 30-day challenge program, which is our entry-level situation, but many people will, because it is really the ultimate. There is no choice. And we will be doing two kinds of presentations. One, which will be career development, and the other one will be more personal and business development, more surviving the future development. And they're kind of powerful presentations with a lot of technical aspects in them. Now, we want people who are interested in that subject. So when you're going out selecting people, you want to be finding people who are interesting to you, that you look at them and you think, crikey, I think that's a person that I could relate to. That actually makes sense. And you want to give them the gift of this opportunity. But what we're also going to be needing you to do is to say to them, look, you're going to be reserving your spot on a workshop. It's a live event. It's not recorded. They're going to work with you. You're going to do breakout rooms, and there is a cost to reserve your seat. Now, you can either do that for $10 or you can do it for $25, and you will have a VIP selection, because that means that you will get an individual coaching call from a specialized coach for after the event. So you've got, a double bubble, but they can do that. What we'll also be doing is giving you some free tickets, so you could start by giving those out. But one thing I will tell you is people don't value free. And you really need to up your game, because if you want to be working at this, you can be talking to a number of people a day and you can be earning $200 to $300 by inviting people with a VIP ticket. And of those people, you're going to get 50% of what is our package is $587, which is the entry level. So you're going to getting 50% of that. Even though you're just doing the invite, even though we're doing the selling, we're going to give you 50%. Because again, as a non-profit, we're interested in the longer game. We're interested in those people continuing to want to work with us after that period. That's our risk. Okay, but we have to cover a few costs. But if you get 50%, that means that you're going to get close to $300 for each person that signs up. Now, if you're going out each day and you're inviting, let's say, between 4 and 8 people, you're going to be making between $100 and $200. And I would say 2 to 3 of those would join up. So you're going to be making well over $1,000 to $2,000 a week. And maybe a bit more than that. And on top of that, you've got other things that you're going to be going into as far as talking to people about group trainings, which can end up with quite a considerable amount of money. So money is a very important thing here. There is no limits to the amount of money you can earn with us, because it's just the limits to your thinking. If you are capable of negotiating at the higher level, then you'll be up at the £200,000 to £300,000 rewards for doing this. But as I said, after the training, we want to give you a package that you are happy with, certainly for the efforts that you're putting in, so you can get the rewards that you deserve. But to start off, you've got to get these basics right. You've got to get the intention in your head that you are going to be a success at this. If you come onto it and think, I want an easy ride and I don't really want to achieve, then it's not going to work out for you. And we want you to be a highly inspired figure that can inspire other people. We want you to be a Tony Robbins figure, so you, when you're talking to people, can have the tools and the skills and the words necessary to give them the feeling that they can be something more than they are today. And there's a lot of aspirational people around. They just want to go on the right situation to do that. But for that to happen, You have to be the person that's sort of really interviewing them, checking that they are the right person to come on this particular workshop, because there's no point with us filling up a workshop with people who really are just not interested, they're out of work or anything like that. And that's one of the reasons that it's better for you to take a few dollars off them, because then they will show up. People are flaky and they get distracted, but if they've put a reserve down of $10, then they will show up. If they've put down $25 for a coaching call as well that's good value, because we charge out at something like £250 an hour for our coaching. So in the end of the day, they're getting it for 25 quid. And $25, I should say. It's my English going on. So as we go through that, that's a first session, a first hit with it. If you've got any questions, please ask them. And we can start to help you overcome any limitations that you have in your own mind, because it's all about your mind. If you have limits, then they're going to come forward very quickly when you're going to be asked to do something and pressure is applied to you. In other words, you've got to fulfill the role. And fulfilling the role here for us means you're out talking to people, it's an effective conversation, and they're turning up on our events, and they're good quality people who are interested in this kind of subject. Now, everybody should be interested in their very survival. Everybody should be interested in getting more money, because certainly one of our events is doubling your income. And we have many people that we work with who have doubled their income through the kind of systems that we put in place, because most people are selling themselves short. They want to prove themselves to their boss, or they want to prove themselves to their other co-workers, and they sell themselves short for years, working on a salary well beneath themselves. And oftentimes that can be a salary that's half the salary of what they could be having. So now, there's a lot to learn here, and we're going to take it step by step, but please ask questions to get yourself over any limitations that may be coming forward, any patterns that are coming forward that are really going to hold you back.